Views expressed in the videos are my observation, analysis of events, persons based on principles of astrology. It's not my intent to predict, forecast absolute outcomes, only suggest how they may unfold. Nothing is set in stone. I could be wrong, but often I'm right. My desire is not to promote fear, only inform about what we see unfolding. It is our wish to prepare our subscribers for events that could affect them, their family, their goals, and their future, to help to prepare for what you may already suspect is happening, and to send a warning shot across the bow and raise a flag of concern. Our goal is to help, not hinder, in these perilous times, to inspire and offer possible direction, and to reveal that a greater plan and purpose are behind all that is happening. Eventually, we will see a brighter day. If you would like to show your appreciation for our work on these videos or this channel, and also the Knowing Whispers channel, you can always click on the word thanks at the bottom of all the videos. Hello everybody, it's Robert Kosmar of the Astrology for Those Awakening YouTube channel, and also the YouTube channel Wisdom for Those Awakening. Formerly the Astrology of Life YouTube channel, for those that might be confused. Today is going to be one of those rare situations where I do an astrology video because I've been focusing on the process of spiritual awakening and conscious rebirth on my channels, because quite honestly they take priority over just doing astrology videos. But I wanted to do a video because of what's happening over in the Middle East, and to give you a foundation and understanding of why it is that this is happening. Okay? Every horoscope, whether it's personal or a corporation or a government entity or anything that manifests itself on the physical plane, that particular moment echoes itself into the future. And what I'm going to show you here on the screen today is the birth chart of the nation of Israel in 1948. And then I'm going to show you two placements on that particular birth chart on the astrocartography graph that define why it is we see what's happening right now between Israel and Iran. Okay? Now, you could say, okay, that this is a fated circumstance. In other words, that when Israel formed in 1948 and they became a nation, that it was their destiny to have this relationship with Iran. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to imply here. And it's very difficult to try to put in to context things that are beyond your logic and reasoning. But throughout my experience as an astrologer and my own experience with my higher self and my guidance, I know that everything is connected. The past, the present, and the future are all connected. Okay? That's what makes astrology so beneficial in regards to helping you to heal, to helping you to understand your life, why things have happened to you, why something happened to you in a certain location. Okay? It's all because on a higher conscious level, everything that is happening, okay, is happening in unison with a purpose and a plan that was established well before we all became earthbound. Okay? So, now, what's the big deal about this chart? Okay? This is the astrocartography chart of Israel as it was established on May the 14th, 1948, approximately 4:37 p.m. in Tel Aviv, Israel. Up here, you'll see little things like Mars conjuncting the D, the descendant, the Sun conjuncting M, the midheaven. Okay, you may have Neptune conjuncting the ascendant. But the most important thing here is Pluto conjuncting Saturn, conjuncting the midheaven. And if you follow this line right here, you'll notice that it is going down, 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 down. And oddly enough, I'm going to show you here in a little bit where it goes through. Okay? And boom. There's Saturn, and there's Pluto, and here is Iran, and here is Iraq. Okay, which Israel's had issues with in the past. Okay, now, in astrocartography, the planets, where they are located on the angles, indicate areas of energy. Okay, energy represented by the planet itself. Saturn, planet of karma, okay, planet of conflict, okay, of lessons to be experienced and learned, in conjunction with Pluto, okay, planet that represents transformation, sometimes physical death, but definitely transformation. And when you put Pluto and Saturn together in any hard aspect, you're talking about restructuring. In other words, the fate and destiny at that particular time is to have the effect of changing the old into a higher level of expression. So what is happening here between Israel and Iran is a fulfillment of the destiny that was written in the stars at the moment they became a country. Okay? And this would apply to anybody. Okay? I thought about doing a video talking about how you could use the astrocartography chart like you could a tarot card. Okay? And the way you do that is that you do an astrocartography reading, or you do a chart like this from your location. Okay? And then you take a look at those lines, particularly the ascendant, the midheaven, the nadir, and the descendant. And you take a look at the energy on those lines. You take a look at what, particular thing is going on in the world. Okay? And you look at what line is closest to that. You can even put aspects beyond just the four that I'm talking here. This is more of the Ptolemy aspects than it is the standard ones. But as you follow that line and you follow what's going on in the world, you'll see a correlation between the line and the event going on in that country. And this again establishes the fact that, while it's not obvious to our mind because we see duality in our mind, separation, is that all the time everything that is going on is connected to everything else. And you may find that fascinating to come to that realization. And if you continue to grow and evolve consciously, it may become obvious to you why this is the case. Okay, why this is happening. Okay, so it's not by chance that when Israel was created, that Pluto and Saturn going through Iran and Iraq was an accident. All right, there are no accidents. All right, now the third chart that I've got here, okay, is the progressed chart of Israel. And you'll notice here the Saturn, or Pluto, hasn't moved a lot, but it has moved into Iran. And Saturn is very well into the middle of the country Iran. Okay. So, again, what we're seeing here is a fulfillment of destiny, karma, fate, and destiny. Okay. Why it's going the way it's going, I can't say for certain exactly how this is going to play out. I do know that the conflict is building. There seems to be indications that other nations are becoming involved. All right, it is the Middle East. So you can toss in your Bible prophecy about, quote, the end times, and I don't look at it like the end times. I look at it like the end of what has been, because the world has been following a certain theme for thousands of years, and now we come to a point to where there must be changes, and these changes must occur, unfortunately, in some cases violently, to actually be a change. And this is something that was predestined. It's something that was calculated, okay, to be. And if you are more than just a student curious about astrology, you're already aware of that. So, the situation going on right now uh, probably will escalate. To what extent, who knows? But keep in mind that because the outer world is changing, that is an indication that the inner world is also changing. And what I mean by that is that people around the world, because of what is going on, are beginning to reevaluate and reflect upon their life, their values, and of why they're here and what they're doing and what is purposely meaningful and what is ridiculous. Okay? And as a result of this, it creates a lot of fear because our ego, okay, that programmed sense of self that we were given from the time we were born, doesn't like change. It doesn't like anything that threatens its sense of being in control. Okay? And when you're talking about higher levels of conscious awareness, you're talking about learning to let go of control and to have more trust. Even though the outer world may seem like it's going crazy, it is possible to confidently have an inner trust in knowing why it's happening, what your part is in it, okay, how it may play out for you, okay? But you won't find that from network news, and you won't find that from unaware individuals who are only concerned about themselves and are only afraid, okay, that the life that they have tried to build because of the control techniques they were taught aren't working anymore. All right. So that's kind of what it is that's going on. And like I said, the nice thing about this is that I felt like that I should do something like this. And it's been a while since I felt like doing astrology videos. But I can guarantee you that with things going on in the world, that from time to time I will do them on the channel. But my priority, my focus, is on helping to elevate consciously your awareness of what is happening and of what you're going through and of how to approach it, how to deal with it, and how to go with the flow and not to resist it and not to fight it. Okay? Because you cannot control this. This is something that was meant to be. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching. And keep in mind that on Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. that CJ, my partner, and I do a live stream called Wisdom for Those Awakening. And then this coming Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m. I'm going to be doing a particular series of teachings called Wisdom for the Awakening Conscious Knowledge. And I may change that image that I created because it looks quite similar to the one Wisdom for Those Awakening. I don't want to confuse everybody because this is a whole different ball game. What I'm teaching you on Sunday is going to be an in-depth view into what is going on consciously within us, how to understand that, how to work with that energy of change, okay? What to do about what is happening. I think that you'll find it to be tremendously rewarding, okay? And I've mentioned before that there's a good possibility that I may do a live stream on the astrology channel here as well at some point, called Astrology for Those Who Are Awakening, and give a different view of utilization of astrology beyond just the quote predictive focus and the entertainment value, so to speak, that it brings, to talking about how in your horoscope that planets indicate where you are going to go through evolution, conscious change, and things of that nature. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. For those of you that are watching, from the love of my life, CJ, my spiritual partner, my best friend, my co-partner in the live stream Wisdom for Those Awakening, thank you for your support, and I hope that you enjoy this refreshing new video on astrology, and I look forward to you responding more. Okay. I noticed that here during the changes that I've made in regards to the channels and stuff, that there's been a slacking down of the comments, and I want to hear from you. Okay, I want to hear about how you feel about the channel and about what's going on, and also about this particular video here. Okay, again, thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you. Take care now.